I am converting the whole chapter heat into the form of question and answer, and this is very helpful to the student who are appearing examination, especially to the student who are appearing SEE examination. Till question number 30 I gave answer in previous class. Now it starts from question number 31. This is part 2. Question number 31. What is laboratory thermometer or general thermometer? We can answer very simple way. A thermometer which is used to measure temperature of air, water and other substances in laboratory is called laboratory thermometer. Now next, draw neat diagram to show thermometer. This means we have to draw general thermometer or laboratory thermometer, which consists of two parts. One is glass bulb, which is connected with long stem, and a capillary starts from glass bulb and goes up to the another end. And its surface, I mean to say the surface of the stem is calibrated with the value of temperature which starts from normally minus 10 degrees Celsius and ends at 110 degrees Celsius. Okay, next question. Write down working of thermometer. How it works? I mean to say, how do we use thermometer to measure the temperature of the body or substances? We have to make the contact of this glass bulb with the substance of which we are measuring the temperature. Then heat energy gained by this mercury expands it, and mercury rises in the capillary and it directly gives the value of temperature. We can write this way: when glass bulb of thermometer comes in contact of a substance, mercury contained in the bulb absorbs heat energy from that substance. Then mercury expands and rises in capillary and lastly becomes stationary at certain value of temperature. The value at which mercury becomes stationary is the temperature of that substance. Okay, next question. What is clinical thermometer? This clinical thermometer is different than general thermometer. A thermometer which is used to measure temperature of human body is called clinical thermometer or doctor's thermometer. Okay, next question. Draw a neat diagram to show clinical thermometer. We have to draw different diagram than general thermometer. Look at this diagram. The basic structure is same. Glass bulb is connected to the stem, but there are three major points we have to take care. In clinical thermometer, there is a constriction. It means the capillary is curved like an English letter C. And another difference is the value of temperature. It is calibrated from 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius, or in Fahrenheit scale, it is calibrated from degree Fahrenheit to 108 degree Fahrenheit. And there is an arrow mark at normal human body temperature. Look at this arrow mark is at 37 degrees Celsius, and in Fahrenheit scale it is 98.6 degree Fahrenheit. These are basic three difference between this clinical thermometer and general thermometer. Okay, but differences are not asked in this question, just the diagram. Okay, next question. Write down the procedure of measurement of temperature of human body using a clinical thermometer. How do we measure body temperature? The glass bulb of thermometer should be placed under tongue for 1 minute or under the armpit for 2 minutes. Mercury contained in the glass bulb expands and rises in the capillary and lastly becomes stable at certain value of temperature. Just for example, here it is shown to be stable in between 38 degree and 39 degrees Celsius. And when thermometer is taken out from the body, constriction does not allow the expanded mercury to fall back into the bulb. Now we can read out the temperature on the stem of thermometer. Okay, next question. In how many ways human body temperature can be measured? I mean to say, method of using thermometer for the measurement of human body. Two methods are already told in question number 36. Human body temperature can be taken by 4 different ways. Number 1, under the armpit, axillary method. Number 2, in the mouth, that is called oral method. Number 3, in the ear, tympanic method. And number 4, in the rectum or bum, rectal method. There are 4 ways with which we can measure human body temperature. Okay, next question. On which principle a liquid thermometer works? Liquid thermometer is based on the principle that liquid expands on heating. Now next, write down differences between laboratory thermometer and clinical thermometer. Now we have to draw a table, and in left hand side I am writing laboratory thermometer, in right hand side clinical thermometer. It is thick and long. Which one? Laboratory thermometer. But clinical thermometer, it is comparatively thin, short and prismatic in shape. Prismatic shape means it has three faces, which makes it triangular in the side of thickness. Okay, next, it is used to measure temperature of different substances in laboratory. It is used to measure temperature of human body only. It is generally calibrated from -10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius, and it is calibrated from 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius, or if it is in Fahrenheit scale, 94 degree Fahrenheit to 108 degree Fahrenheit normally. Okay, it is not constricted. It is constricted just above the glass bulb. Just before this, I told you about the constriction. There is no any arrow mark on the surface of a stem of laboratory thermometer, but there is an arrow mark at the normal human body temperature on the surface of stem. Okay, next, what do you mean by the constriction of clinical thermometer? Now what can we say? Just above the glass bulb, capillary of clinical thermometer is torn like an English letter C, which produces very narrow path for the mercury to pass through it, called constriction. Now next question, why a clinical thermometer is constricted? Reason of constriction. After the measurement of temperature, when clinical thermometer is removed from human body, mercury falls back to the bulb from capillary and temperature cannot be read out. So a constriction is made on the capillary just above the glass bulb to prevent the backflow of mercury. It helps to read the correct value of temperature. Okay, next question. Why there is an arrow mark on the stem of clinical thermometer? There is an arrow mark on the stem of clinical thermometer at normal human body temperature. It helps a person to know whether she or he has fever or not. Beyond arrow mark, fever. Below arrow mark, no fever. Okay, next. Why clinical thermometer is calibrated to a narrow range of temperatures? Very simple. Human body temperature is not too high. That's why we can calibrate a narrow range of temperature over there. Human body temperature doesn't fall down below 94 degree Fahrenheit and doesn't exceed above 108 degree Fahrenheit. Since a clinical thermometer is designed to measure human body temperature, hence it is calibrated from 94 degree Fahrenheit to 108 degree Fahrenheit. Next, mention the boiling and freezing temperature of mercury and alcohol. We know that mercury and alcohol can be used as thermometric substance, and that's why we must know their freezing and boiling temperature. Freezing temperature of mercury is -39 degrees Celsius, but freezing temperature of alcohol is very less, -115 degrees Celsius. But boiling temperature of mercury is 357 degrees Celsius, but alcohol has very less boiling temperature, 78 degrees Celsius. Now, mercury thermometer cannot be used to measure atmospheric temperature of very cold region, but alcohol thermometer is useful. Why? This is because of temperature. Freezing temperature of mercury is -39 degrees Celsius. Atmospheric temperature of very cold region may fall down below -39 degrees Celsius. So mercury freezes at this temperature and atmospheric temperature cannot be measured. Freezing temperature of alcohol is very less, that is -115 degrees Celsius. Atmospheric temperature never be less than this value. Hence, alcohol thermometer is useful to measure atmospheric temperature of very cold region, but mercury thermometer will be useless at that place. Okay, next question. Name two parts of thermometer. Number one, glass bulb. I told you about this. Second is stem. Why clinical thermometers should not be washed with hot water? Now answer should be clinical thermometer is calibrated from 95 degree Fahrenheit to 108 degree Fahrenheit. Temperature of hot water is greater than 108 degree Fahrenheit. If it is washed with hot water, then mercury expands and cannot get enough space for expansion and thermometer breaks due to high pressure. So we should not wash it with hot water. Okay, next, why temperature of boiling water should not be measured by using alcohol thermometer? There is another problem. Alcohol boils. Temperature of boiling water is 100 degrees Celsius, but the boiling temperature of alcohol is only 78 degrees Celsius. So, when alcohol thermometer is used to measure boiling temperature of water, then alcohol boils and turns to vapor and thermometer breaks due to the vapor pressure. So, alcohol thermometer should not be used to measure boiling temperature of water. Next, what is the boiling point of water in Kelvin unit? Very easy answer, 373 Kelvin. It will come later also. Next, why water is not used as thermometric substance instead of mercury? Water is not used. It is very cheap, easily available, but not used. There is certain reason. There are many reasons. I want to tell you some of them. Number one, mercury does not weight the wall of capillary of thermometer, but water weights the wall of capillary. So it gives incorrect reading. Mercury is opaque and can be seen easily in the capillary of thermometer, but water is transparent and cannot be seen easily. Number 3. Mercury remains in the form of liquid over a wide range of temperature, that is from minus 39 degrees Celsius to 357 degrees Celsius, but water remains in liquid form 0 degrees Celsius to 100 degrees Celsius only. That's why we prefer mercury. Next, specific capacity of mercury is very less and is good conductor of heat, so it expands very quickly by the absorption of less amount of heat. Water has high specific heat capacity, so it takes lot of heat from the bodies for expansion and does not expand quickly. About the specific capacity later we'll learn in detail also. Number 5. Mercury has uniform expansion, but water does not have uniform expansion. It means 10 degrees Celsius to 20 degrees Celsius, how much is the expansion of mercury? The same is from 20 degrees Celsius to 30 and 30 to 40, but this type of uniform expansion is not found in case of water. Okay, next. Density of mercury is high, due to which enough mass of mercury can be filled in a small glass ball, which is necessary for the expansion to show high temperature, but water has less density. That's why enough amount of water cannot be taken in thermometer. Next, constriction is not necessary in laboratory thermometer, but it is necessary in clinical thermometer. Why? Why necessary in clinical thermometer? Already told, but why not necessary in laboratory thermometer is also attached in this question. That's why the answer is, while measuring temperature of any substance in lab, we make the contact of glass bulb of thermometer with that substance. Mercury rises in capillary, which we can read easily, but while measuring temperature of human body, will put glass ball of thermometer under the tongue or under the armpit, so we cannot read out correct temperature, because when thermometer is taken out from the body, the level of mercury falls down in capillary. Hence, constriction is necessary to read correct body temperature in clinical thermometer. Okay, next. What is the principle of digital thermometer? How it works? There is another thermometer, digital thermometer, which is used as clinical thermometer. How it works? Digital thermometers works on the principle that the electrical resistance of metal changes with temperature. The resistance increases as the temperature rises and lowers as temperature falls down. The digital thermometer works with the supply of voltage by a battery through an electrode and then measuring the current, which changes with temperature. Okay, next. Why maximum and minimum thermometer is also called 6 thermometer? Because it is made by 6. Very simple. It is also called 6 thermometer because it is first made by the scientist 6. Another question, what is maximum and minimum thermometer? This is another type of thermometer, quite different than normal thermometers. A thermometer which records the highest and lowest temperature reached during a period of time, usually 24 hours, is called maximum and minimum thermometer. It means in a day, what was the maximum temperature and what was the minimum temperature can be recorded by maximum and minimum thermometer. Next question. Draw a neat diagram to show maximum and minimum thermometer and write down how it is constructed. Now we have to show the diagram first. Look at this diagram, shows maximum minimum thermometer. Now we have to explain how it is made. It is U-shaped and it is filled half with mercury and half with alcohol. Alcohol vapor is also there, and there is temperature scale. It is here in the ascending order from top to down, and it is here in the descending order from top to down. And here we have metal indices, two metal indexes. This metal index gives the value of maximum and minimum temperature. Now how can we explain its construction? Look at this. It consists of U-shaped glass tube in which half of the lower part of U-shaped tube is filled with mercury, but the upper part with alcohol on both the sides. Upper end of right hand side is filled with alcohol vapor. Here two metal indices are used inside the alcohol on both the arms of U-tube. Here they are U-tube. To read the maximum and minimum temperature, both the side of U-tube is calibrated with the value of temperature either in degree Celsius or degree Fahrenheit. In left hand side, the values are in the increasing order from top to bottom, but in right hand side it is opposite. Okay, this is about the construction. Now next, how it works. How a maximum and minimum thermometer works. Again we need diagram. This is the diagram. How it works, we can say this way. Alcohol filled in the left hand side of the U-tube expands when temperature of environment rises. Here alcohol expands. It forces the mercury to rise on the tube in right hand side. Because of expansion in left hand side, in right hand side mercury rises. Raised mercury pushes the index to certain value of temperature, that is the maximum temperature. Look at this, especially showing maximum temperature. This index is gone up to 30 degrees Celsius. And then alcohol filled in the left hand side of U-tube contracts when temperature of environment falls down. When this alcohol contracts, now the level of mercury falls on the tube of right hand side. Here level of mercury falls but rises in the tube of left hand side, and the same rises in the tube in left hand side. Raised mercury level pushes the index upward in the tube of left side. This index mark gives minimum temperature. Here minimum temperature can be recorded in left hand side. For another measurement, a magnet is used to move indices up to the upper surface of the mercury. What it means? It means this index is left at the upper side, that has to be pulled down to the surface of the mercury, and that can be done by using a magnet. And in both the side we can pull down the index up to the mercury level. Okay, today up to this much only. Remaining we will continue in next class. This much for today.